we have team 5. I'll give you a 10-minute warning, by the way. 10-second warning. Yeah, go on.
Okay. Well, I'm Matt Priest. I've been working on an idea based on the fairy tale The Four Skillful Brothers. The game is going to be an RTS, and it's going to take place after the main fairy tales happen. So at the end of the fairy tale, the king divides the kingdom into 4. So the RTS is going to be you competing against your 3 brothers to not only develop your kingdom, but also supplying the king and building your relationship with him. So there'll be 4 custom characters to play, and each will have its own unique set of abilities and powers, but each will be balanced so that neither has an unfair advantage over the other. And it's going to be just normal standard RTS with rock, paper, scissors combat mechanics. So there'll be 4 unit choices: normal foot soldier, pikemen and cavalry units, with an archery unit in each one is weak against the other. There will be bonus objectives and quests on the actual maps as you're competing against each other to earn extra gold and resources. And there will be a 3-part tutorial that outlines the gameplay mechanics that will cover the main fairy tale. But then obviously the skirmish and multiplayer will take place at the end of the fairy tale when the king divides the kingdom. Yeah, the world is going to be based obviously in medieval fantasy realm with a cel-shaded art style similar to Fable and League of Legends art style. Yeah.
Okay. Any questions?
Any questions?
Could be rock, paper, scissors, lizard spark. That would be so much better.
It'd be more unit types to program in, which would probably make it more difficult. But no, like a lot of RTSs just use the standard rock, paper, scissors so that you can kind of outmaneuver each other.
Okay.
I'm just trying to keep it simple as.
I was just injecting a little cube.
How easy is making an RTS in UDK?
Not very easy, but to be honest, making any game from scratch in UDK is probably not going to be the easiest. So.
RTS.
Well, I mean, it's doable.
Yeah.
But you guys got till May, haven't you? Really, I think so.
You know, I don't think it's anything out of the realm of impossibility.
Without doubt, no. It's just how many of you sort of doing scripting second?
I think we have 3 or 4
characters, yeah. That's better then. So
Yeah.
we've got like 2. If you guys
Okay. Next idea, please. To the front. Ooh. Our first person to use a computery thing.
It's not a lot, honestly. It's just
It's been telling us this the whole time.
this is different to one at home.
to the limit of making the game.
Okay.
Right, this is my idea. It's based on The Children of Gold, which was written by Brothers Grimm. The idea of the game is going to be a top-down sort of game, where the idea is for the player to control the 2 twins of gold. And the idea is to avoid the hordes of people which are chasing them, because the game will deal with them being different. So that's the reason why the townspeople are after them. The idea of the game is for it to be arcade style. So it's all about point system and getting from point A to point B as fast as possible. The images will come up really poorly, but the idea is it's going to be a top-down view with a very medieval-esque setting and a complex city layout, where the stages get more and more advanced as the player progresses. The idea for the main attacking system in the game is for the player to use the environment to their advantage. So there'll be things that they can use to block their path, for example, like barrels, or dogs are chasing them. They can use meat, for example, to distract the dogs. There'll be a lot of dead ends and stuff as the player goes through, so it's going to create a lot of panic situations for the player, creating some quite interesting moments, hopefully, if this idea is chosen. The reason why I think this idea will work is because it's going to be very similar layouts for the stages. We'll be able to reuse a lot of our assets, so we'll be able to save some time by doing that. We're not trying to say we're going to do really poor quality models, but we can reuse what we've got. The game will be easy to design because it's just a top-down view and a radar system, and I've done some coding already in my past, so I kind of know how it's going to look like and work. It'll be easy to play. It's going to be very simple controls. You literally run around the map. You might be able to jump and there's going to be a button to interact with objects. So at most there'll be 2 options to use.
10 seconds.
All right. We've got quite a widespread team talent, and the narrative will be emergent. So different players would experience different things because of different paths throughout the stages.
Can I ask you, why,
Yeah.
why top down? If you're going to make it 3D, why top down?
The reason why I want it top down is because I really want, because it's based on a map. Most maps you see from above. So I wanted the player to be able to be exploring the map in real time as opposed to having it from behind. Plus I didn't want to be unfair, because if all they can see is what's down the street, they won't know if they could turn left and there'll be a dead end, or if they could turn right and it might lead to something. So I was thinking if it's top down.
If it's completely top down, then what's the point of having 3D?
Oh, because we're going to have some situations where the player might be able to use a sewer system, for example. So they might be able to go inside the sewers, and it will the top layer will go invisible, and they'll just see the path for the sewer. They'll be able to run through it, pop up at the other end. There'll be able to be situations where their view might be obscured by a bridge, for example, that they can run under. So I was trying to think of stuff like that.
I hate that.
Okay. Any other ideas?
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
don't worry about me then. It's just a preference.
Right. Next idea.
Okay. The next idea is based on a twisted version of Snow White and the Red Rose by Brothers Grimm. It's you play as Snow White while she's like trapped inside the dream monster, which casts the spell on her. It's a horror stealth game where on the inside of the stream is like a twisted nightmare where you are being constantly hunted by the hunter, who, based on the huntsman, just a worse version of it. He's a bigger, stronger enemy who the player is unable to defeat. It's much like a cat and mouse kind of thing. So all you can do is hinder him while you work to escape the dream. There's on the outside of the dream you have the witch who comes along. You have the witch who. Sorry, I'm trying to do this well. She comes up to you with. Well, she wants to harvest you along, especially in the story.
Right.
Which gives you a timer of 30 minutes to actually escape this dream. The timing system of it is the player is able to close their eyes within the dream world, which allows them to see outside but unable to interact with anything. So they can kind of have one view like a camera. When they do this, they can see the witch approaching. So the closer the witch is, the less time they have. So she starts off far away, she's constantly moving towards, and you can shut this at any time. Within the actual game, the player has 1 life and 1 health bar to get through the whole thing. If they die, they have to start again. But because of the 30-minute time limit, it's
10 seconds.
not so it's too hard, or they don't become too frustrated. They're like a 1 more go kind of thing.
Okay.
It's supposed to be like a very replayable game. The objective on how to get out
Time
will
is up.
change.
Sorry. Any questions? Nope.